Why'd I get mixed up with that bitch?
Because she got a great ass! And you got your head all the way up it!
Jesus.
During the fountain scene in Austin Powers, at one point, Austin's stream starts giving out intermittent splashes like a sprinkler. According to the DVD commentary, this was actually a result of the water cannon malfunctioning, but the directors found it so funny they left it in. In one scene from Dumb and Dumber, Jim Carrey improvised the awkward moment outside the gas station to mess with two random men who weren't even paid extras. They just happened to be outside the 7-Eleven where they were shooting the scene.
Hey, guys. Oh, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.
In the famous hamburger scene from Pulp Fiction, Samuel L. Jackson flipping the table was not part of the script. The other actors' stunned reactions were completely genuine.
What? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker.
The entire Borat movie was a prank in itself. Of course it was scripted, but the only actor in the movie was Sacha Baron Cohen. Everyone in the movie is a real person, and the reactions they show are completely real.
You say shalom? Shalom? Attack! Attack the Jew!
The famous scene in El Camino, where Todd gestures like a child to the truck driver to honk, was not in the script and completely improvised by Jesse Plemons. In Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke, the dog who eats Chong's burrito was unscripted. It was a local stray that wandered into the frame, took the burrito, and walked away. Cheech and Chong just improvised around it, and the scene stayed in the movie.
Hey! Son of a...
In the Lego movie, Vitruvius says,
All right, you gotta write all that down because I'm not gonna remember any of it, but here we go.
This was actually an outtake of Morgan Freeman getting frustrated at his lines being changed. The directors added it in as a joke.
All right, you gotta write all that down because I'm not gonna remember any of it, but here we go.
Did you know Woody Allen's famous sneeze in Annie Hall was an unscripted accident? Allen simply had an allergic reaction to the powder, and everyone managed to hold themselves together long enough that the take could be used in the final cut. According to the commentary for American Beauty, the remote control car hitting Carolyn was a complete accident, but it was so perfect it ended up in the film. In this action thriller, the sequence of the iconic vehicle chase was improvised. The director didn't have the permits needed to film on the streets, so stunt driver Bill Hickman dodged and weaved at high speeds past civilian cars without their knowledge. The stunt car accidentally hit a white Ford, causing significant damage to both vehicles. This famous line from Heat was completely improvised by Al Pacino on the spot, so co-star Hank Azaria's shocked reaction is genuine.
Because she got a great ass! And you got your head all the way up it!
At the very end of this Stanley Kubrick classic, the titular wheelchair-bound character miraculously stands up and proclaims that he can walk. This scene was entirely unscripted, added by the legendary Peter Sellers. Throwing out an ad-libbed line of dialogue is one thing, but shaving off all the hair on your head is a whole new level of improvisation. According to Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen, the scene where Gordon-Levitt's cancer-stricken character buzzes his head was completely unplanned.
Looks okay, right?
In The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Daniel Craig arrives at his cabin and grabs a can of cat food from the top of his fridge. Everything was going according to plan until Daniel noticed he'd knocked over a milk bottle. As quick as a flash, he leaped back and caught it before it smashed into the floor. Director David Fincher liked how natural it was, so he decided to keep that part in the movie. In The Birdcage, Robin Williams' slip and fall during the shrimp scene was not planned. Williams genuinely fell, and the other actors were truly trying not to break character.
God damn you! What are you standing there for? Go! Go! She'll be here in a minute! Go! Damn it! Fuck the shrimp!
Did you know this classic line from I Know What You Did Last Summer was suggested and directed by a child who'd won a contest to create a moment in the film?
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
Burnt contains an infamous scene in which Adam, having reached his lowest point, attempts to commit suicide by suffocating himself with a bag. Interestingly, this was improvised by Bradley Cooper, who spotted the bag in between takes. It turns out he actually choked in real life and had to be restrained by Matthew Rhys. Lost in Translation's last scene was initially supposed to be an embrace and not a kiss, but Bill Murray then chose to whisper something into Scarlett's ear. It was at that moment when the two co-stars realized a kiss would be more appropriate, but no one knows exactly what was said since there was nothing in the script. When asked about it later, Bill Murray said that only he and Scarlett will ever know what was said. The script for Tarantino's violent Reservoir Dogs called for Michael Madsen to torture Officer Nash, played by Kirk Baltz, by cutting off his ear with a straight razor. However, Tarantino didn't give Madsen any specific direction on what to do once the gruesome deed had been done.
Hey, what's going on? You hear that?
All of Madsen's lines and actions with the ear were improvised by him.
Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back.
In the scene from The Mask, when Jim Carrey tries to stuff the money in the closet, Milo the dog wasn't supposed to bite the frisbee. Luckily, Jim Carrey is such a talented improviser that he went along with whatever Milo was doing. This was so funny, they decided to keep it in the movie.
Okay, I'm coming. I'll be right there.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
The famous sound made by Anthony Hopkins during his story about eating a liver with Jodie Foster wasn't in the original script for The Silence of the Lambs. Apparently, it was something Hopkins did during rehearsals to creep out Foster. Johnny Depp's Captain Jack Sparrow was apparently not supposed to fall down the stairs in Dead Man's Chest, but he manages to hop right back up and continue the scene by singing a song.
I got a jar of dirt, I got a jar of dirt, and guess what's inside it?
This tune was completely improvised by Depp, which explains why most of the reactions from the rest of the cast, including Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley, are completely real.
I got a jar of dirt, I got a jar of dirt, and guess what's inside it?
In Me, Myself, and Irene, Jim Carrey had lived the moment when he asks his sons to kiss him before he leaves. One of them looks obviously surprised. In Joker, Joaquin Phoenix improvised the iconic dance in the bathroom. Originally, Arthur was just meant to stare into the mirror and quietly contemplate his actions, but after hearing some of the composer's music, Phoenix thought the dance was more appropriate. The Children of Men scene when blood splatters on the camera was a complete accident. It happened on their last chance to film the 6-minute continuous scene. Director yelled "cut" when the blood splattered onto the camera, but the assistant director didn't hear him because an explosion went off at the same time. They continued with the shot, which the cinematographer called a miracle.